had a bit of a meltdown about purpose in life, big questions, Saturn return. Sometimes I just don't know what I want.
We'll talk about it a bit more now, but I just feel young. I don't know why, maybe it's London.
We feel young because it's like when you're a kid and you think about getting married, you like picture this like alternate reality, but then you become that age and you're like, no.
I'm sorry if you can hear children. I live by a playground and normally I avoid filming at this time, but this is the time it is. So acceptance, there we go. It's the charms of living in London, am I right? I saw this chai concentrate in the shop and I was like, I have to try it. That is so good. It's still humid, but it's definitely cooling down. And I am ready for autumn. Like, it's in my bones. I'm an autumn girl at heart. I went back to therapy this morning for a check-in. We kind of put therapy on pause for a little while. And it was so helpful. It was so fruitful this time around. As I mentioned in my last episode of 168 Hours, I had a bit of a meltdown about purpose in life, big questions, Saturn return, all the good things. And hashing it out with my therapist was really helpful. Sometimes I just don't know what I want. I keep saying to people, it's like looking at stuff here, like I just can't get a full picture of anything because I'm too close to it. And I really just need to be able to start seeing my life, what I want from it, from a distance. And I realized that what I want is to be like a tree. Hear me out. There's me, the trunk, and then there are major branches which talk about stuff in my life, stuff I do. But overall, it all kind of makes sense as the tree. You're not getting acorns growing on willows. Because right now I'm just overstretched with all the things that I'm kind of half doing well and none of the things that I'm throwing myself into or feel able to throw myself into wholeheartedly. So now I feel like I have an understanding of what I want, which is for my branches to be clearer, more clarified. I would really love a podcast around the Saturn return. I know there's a lady called Kagi who does one, but she kind of doesn't focus on that Saturn return pivotal moment. For those of you that don't know, a Saturn return is when you are between 28 and 30. You've done another route of Saturn around the sun. Saturn's gone around the sun, hasn't it? So you've done that route again and everything changes. It's a very pivotal time in your life in those few years. I want people talking about their Saturn returns, the things they changed in their life at this period, and how it affected them. All interesting thoughts. Anyway, speaking of careers and fun things, I have to go. I'm going to Caravan, one of my favorite places to go and have lunch in London. And I'm hanging out with Maddie. And if you don't follow Maddie on YouTube, you really, really should. We met for the first time actually at YouTube recently. We were both asked to come in and basically help some brands do some creative planning. And she's just a great creator. Her short form content is exceptional. And I was so glad to get to meet her and we hung out all afternoon. I'll link her somewhere here so you can have a look. There is something so special about hanging out with people who understand a very specific thing that you do. Like when I meet someone who also grew up in Quakers. Oh my goodness, the day I met Jessica Calgreen-Fozard, we were both Quakers and creators. There was just something special there. Or someone who went to SOAS, my university. There's just instantly that point of understanding and something you can really dissect together. Enough waffling. Cheers to autumn. Let's go and get some lunch. Oh my god, what'd you order?
I ordered a basil tomato pizza.
Maddie's got a fashion event next, doesn't know if she's gonna get fed.
Where's my juice? I ordered juice as well, remember? It was my healthy part of my meal.
It arrived! The juice! Oh my god, this feels very Lonely Girl 15, doesn't it? I just spent too long sorting out my LinkedIn. I'm not looking for work, but I am aware that some people do reference LinkedIn when they're looking to work with creators, especially in like a consulting capacity. And I haven't touched it in like 4 or 5 years, so I tidied it up. It feels like a very strange platform. I'm not even sure if people really use it anymore, but I'm glad that I did a bit of polishing. I've been really looking forward to dinner. I'm having a pot noodle because I didn't Asda order, but it arrives tomorrow and I don't want to spend any more money. I can't lie, we are pulling up our bootstraps, tying our laces on our boots. One of those. I'm trying not to spend too much money because I feel like my money just drains out of my account at the moment. Pot noodle for dinner it is. I'll add extra peas from the freezer. And then I think I'm going to watch a film. Do you know what I saw is new to Sky Cinema? Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On. An OG YouTube classic, if you know, you know. I didn't realise there's a whole film, so I'm gonna give that a watch. I will let you know my thoughts. As you know, I'm part of Sky Cinema Club. I share a review of a film that is new to the platform every month. It is 8 PM, I cannot believe how long I spent doing that. I did do some real work today as well, I promise. I really enjoyed Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On. It was heartwarming. It's a story about community and family, and grief as well, like a little bit of grief, but it's very endearing. The film is a mockumentary and it explores the life of Marcel, who is a small shell with shoes on, as the name would suggest. And of course it's an A24 film, and of course it's won loads of awards. It has that feeling of an A24 film. As soon as you start watching it, you're like, oh yeah, this makes total sense. The world that they build in this film is so beautiful. It's very cozy. It's predominantly set in one house. And I thought it was so clever how the director integrated household objects like tea lights, there's an inhaler, and just made them fit into the world of Marcel. I did some Googling as well afterwards. Did you know that they only managed to shoot about 5 to 10 seconds of stop motion footage per day that they shot that film? The commitment to the cause, apparently it took nearly 7 years. So it's such a labor of love and you can really feel that. And that's all I'm gonna say because I think going into this film not knowing much is much better. But something very cozy. It's a very good film for September as the weather gets cooler and you wanna be like cozied up. And it comes to Sky Cinema on the 24th of September. If you'd like to watch something else, there are many new films on Sky Cinema this month, including Knock at the Cabin and God is a Bullet. They've also got a really meaty directors pop-up with films from Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg. And they've got an anti-heroes pop-up on there, which I'm so excited for because they've got The Social Network on there, which is one of my favorite films of all time. I will take any excuse to watch that film, so I'm buzzing. If you'd like any more information about Sky Cinema, I will leave everything in the description. And thank you so much, Sky Cinema, for working with me on this video. So I'm gonna bring you closer. I'm hosting a little dinner tonight. My old housemate's coming over, Jamaica, you might remember her, and she is a vegan. A whole vegan. So we are gonna have some delicious vegan cuisine. Let's continue this chat upstairs. How is this? We are making a delightful mushroom and chickpea korma. I have all my bits over here. They're not even in shot, wait. I also bought these to start. If you have not tried the lime and coriander chutney poppadoms, these are so good. Get them when they're on offer. And then for dessert, wait, I'll show you my dessert. I found these little goo puds. Like, oh. And you know what? All the ingredients and the extras came to under £10, which is so good because we are in an area where food costs so much money. I spend so much more than I need to on food purely out of convenience and laziness. It's not cool. While we're being cozy girls in autumn, I'm gonna get my shit together. Watch this space.
I do think as well, like, we feel young because it's like when you're a kid and you think about getting married, you like picture this like alternate reality.
Yeah.
Of like one day when I'm older and blah, but then you become that age and you're like, no, it's too much, what the hell? There we go. This is really good. Is it alright? Do you need salt as well?
I tend to undersalt stuff.
I don't know how to take another bite.
Alright.
Maybe like a smidgen, but if it's all the way upstairs, it's not. It's perfect.
It's fine. When we realised we're gonna get two.
You need like a dumb eater.
Yeah, we really do. I get excruciating period pains just for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours at the beginning of my period. And last night at 4:30, I woke up to those pains. You know when you're still basically sleeping and you're like fumbling around, or you try to go to the toilet in the night and you're like, oh, what is going on? You're kind of in a daze. That was me trying to find some drugs. I was like, where am I? But I just find it fascinating, one, how painful it is, and two, how it just goes. How can it be so bad and then just kind of go into just like a very normal dull ache? This is not for pity, this is just hopefully in case you identify as well. Jam came by last night and it was so nice. I'm so grateful for the female friendships I have in my life. And I know a lot of people find that quite hard. I know there is like a loneliness epidemic in our generation, especially in cities. Weirdly, actually, I'm working at an event tonight. I'm doing some stories for an app that is hoping to combat women's loneliness. I didn't segue that on purpose, that's just come to mind. But I'm glad to see people are kind of doing something about it. On the first day of your period, you just cannot do anything at a normal pace. It's taken me twice as long to do anything today. And I know this happens every month and I still don't expect it. I had a plan to go to the Saatchi Gallery before I went to Biscuiteers tonight, but I'm just not gonna have time. And that is actually so fine and probably for the best because I'm going to an exhibition tomorrow anyway with my parents. Anyway, enough waffling. I feel so zoned out, man. I think I need a bit of food. I think I need maybe a sugary drink and biscuits. I need biscuits. A word of advice. Don't let your first interaction with someone be governed by what you think they can do for you. You never know when you're going to run into someone again. So even if you choose not to do this altruistically, there is something in it for you to be kind to everyone when you first meet them. When someone comes in with a bit of judgment on the first time I meet them, it actually doesn't bother me too much. It tends to just make me laugh. But recently I've heard about it happening more and more with people, especially in work events, in work contexts, where it's annoyed me more because I think those people really deserve to be treated with a respect that they won't give them. I'm continually amazed by how many people I meet again and again in different roles and in a work context at different companies, doing different jobs. The number of people who worked for a company and then started their own company and then became one of the most successful companies in our space. It's a way more common story than you realise, and it is not a good look to not be nice to those people when you first meet them. And on a human level, everyone deserves to be talked to like they are valid and worthy and should be there. In general, the influencer industry is very open, it's very kind, but it can get a bit hierarchical. On a broader note, I see this happen in day-to-day life, especially where there are these quite ingrained social structures. And I just think it costs nothing to be nice. Right, I'm gonna go and meet my mum and dad. I'm meeting them at the Design Museum. We're going to a preview of an exhibition. My dad always takes me to the V&A with his little V&A pass, so I was like, let me return the favour. Also, my Mac t-shirt arrived. For some reason, they sent me two, so if someone wants one, let me know and I'll post it to you if you're in the UK.
Oh, hello. I've only just found out who was to blame for those really low slung trousers. It's bloody Alexander McQueen, I never knew that. Congratulations, I know you're a huge influencer. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome to Lucy's vlog. Or vlog, sorry, I'm a bit vlog
2001 is that.
If you're looking for live music in London, there's an incredible company called Farrago. Go and check them out. We're all here to support creative musicians and emerging artists. We've got visual art, dance, poetry.
You've got the pitch.
Trust.
Hi guys. Hi Lucy's camera.
Let me capture Imo. It's one of my oldest friends.
Hello!
You just said I've never been in the vlog.
Yeah, I'm never in the box. I think I was like a teenager last time I was. And that was a couple of years ago.
So here we are,
Yeah,
serendipitous, in the toilets in the pub.
The only place to be.
Oh my god. There we go. Woohoo! Right, I'm gonna have a wee now. I'm dying. I'm having a very nice, like, random errand Sunday. I washed some stuff that needed like a gentle wash with cashmere soap, and I descaled my coffee machine. Big adult things to do. I'm gonna continue that trend by making a banana bread. It's like a breakfast banana bread recipe that I found off Emily English, who is this really great TikTok and like real influencer. Calling her an influencer is definitely doing her a disservice. She's a creator. And she actually made this video as part of an ad, which shows you that there is some integrity left in our ad things. I can't say that. But yeah, it's like a kind of healthy take on a banana bread. But yeah, I've got my bananas and I've got the oven on, and it's actually super easy to make. If you have all the ingredients, super easy, and you can get oat flour or you can blend up your oats, which is what I'm doing because it's a little bit cheaper. And this is 5 or 6 days worth of breakfast for me. Apologies for our total chaos kitchen. It was not designed to be used. I also don't measure my ingredients. I don't think we have any scales, do we?
No, I don't know if we do.
Maybe I should order some and then I wouldn't be. Do you say it's all bullshit?
No, I said
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm just an eyeballer today. And always. It kind of adds an element of risk, you know? Gets the blood pumping. So the great thing about TikTok recipes is you can see how many oats they had. I reckon I've got about that much, maybe a little more. That's my oat flour. That took me all of 15 seconds. I literally think that's all the dry ingredients. The other thing is the wet ingredients, which I'll pop in here. I'll mash the bananas, and then I have to put some olive oil in and some honey. I add a little bit of vanilla essence, and I also add some powdered ginger and powdered cinnamon. Tiny bit of vanilla. The best bit, pumpkin kernels and walnut pieces. So I really wanted to add some dark chocolate. I feel like adding just random leftover chocolate is probably the best way to go, because as much as I'd love to just absolutely fill it with chocolate, that is not the vibe we're going for. I hope that this is the ASMR you really hoped for at the end of this vlog. Then once you've done your wet and your dry ingredients, you pour the wet ones into the dry and just give it a mix. She says not to overmix. I reckon you could also put like a drizzle of Nutella or something through this and like marble it through. That's what we're working with. I don't like it when you pull something you baked out the oven and it's kind of got this like greasy outside residue from over greasing the container that you cooked it in. So I try and go quite light on that, although maybe that's to my detriment sometimes. There we go. I'll link this full recipe in the description so you have it if you want it. But it's such a nice thing to do on a Sunday where you don't really have any other plans. Super easy to cook, shove it in the oven, and then it's 20 minutes uncovered and then 20 minutes covered in foil. And then you have a nice little banana bread. It's out of the oven. Do you want to come and see it? And then rotate. Girls, she's done it. Oh, that steam. Can you see that? That's the slice through. My professional review is that I went ever so slightly too light on the oat flour, but honestly, it's so delicious. It's so banana-y, this one. I think that's where I'll close out this week. All in all, a lovely way to spend a Sunday. Oh, I want to eat this piece. So good.